Hi guys, it's Corey. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm sharing another 2-page layout in my Smashbook album. This is the 4th series I've done. So if you like Smashbooking videos, check out my playlist. This is the 4th one. So I have 3 other fully completed Smashbook playlists where I show every single page in that Smashbook that I've completed, and they're all start to finish videos. So here I found a double page in my Smashbook that I wanted to use, and I'm using this large die cut that I purchased from the online silhouette store. There's going to be 2 pieces to it, so I did one off camera just to save a little bit of time, and this one I'm putting together quickly on camera. I'm using both Fabri-Tac by Beacon glue along with my Tombow Mono adhesive. The reason I grabbed for the Tombow Mono is it's a fine tip bottle as opposed to the Fabri-Tac. The Fabri-Tac I can get a lot on there quickly, but when it's in small detailed areas it's a little bit more difficult. So that's why you'll see me using both. So I'm just gluing down. I needed a piece of gray behind that large die cut part that says it's a wrap. This did come the way it shows. However, I added my last name to one side, and then I also added movie time to the other side. Otherwise, that's how the die cut came. Now, I know I've seen packs of stickers and die cuts if you don't have a Silhouette Cameo or a Cricut that you could use and you want to make something similar that you can purchase online. They may not have the exact same things, but it gives you an idea of, some things that you can add. This I'm actually adding inside the book, not to my page itself, which you'll see here in just a moment. The arrows that I'm adding on, if you purchase this die cut, they come in 6 different pieces, 6 different arrows. I went ahead and added that stripe down the middle and welded it all together to make it much easier for me to glue down in one piece instead of trying to position them correctly and get them separated correctly by doing 6 different ones. So by me welding it together, I was able to glue it down in one piece, and then I knew it was all perfectly spaced. So that's that top piece. And now I'm adding my little hardware mechanism here. Again, this all comes with the die cut when you purchase it. I remembered that in my stash I had these little brads that I thought would look super cute as the screws in it. And I'm using my Tim Holtz paper piercer and just pressing those through. And then I'm opening the back of the brads. I do go back with my bone folder and just really press them down just to make sure that they are a little bit less dimensional for when I glue them together. Sorry about the little bit of glare. That'll obviously be covered up when I bring out my Smashbook again. It's the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios glass mat, which I absolutely love, but I have a light right above my desk. So here I'm showing you that I punched from the cinch 2 pieces of cardstock. Those are 2 pieces glued together, and it's heavyweight cardstock. It's 110-pound cardstock, and again I've glued 2 of them together. So now I'm just cutting out those holes, and that will help me to just put this right in the center of my book. It'll go right into that binding ring. So now I'm simply just going to press it in. I do cut off the edges so it doesn't interfere with the rings at the top and the bottom there of the page. And then it just pops right in, and that is going to go right in my 2 pages that I'm going to be completing today. Now, this little camera clapper, I think is what it's called, they are rounded edges. So you'll see me cut that scrap piece of paper just diagonally here. That way it's not sticking out, because I'm going to be sandwiching those 2 pieces on that cardstock, so you won't notice that. So here I'm adding glue to almost all of it, just not around the left side where it's closest to the binding. I will add that on the die cut itself, so I know that the glue goes right up to the edge. I want to make sure this is adhered down very well. And I do have a scrap piece of paper behind it in case any glue seeps out, it's not getting on my page. So I'm pressing that down, and now I'm just going to simply sandwich the second one that I made by adding glue to the entire back side, and that way I know it's glued down perfectly. Now, the cardstock I'm using, I mentioned, it's scrap cardstock that I had in my stash, and it's just a light gray color, so you don't even like notice it once it's down there. But it is a 110-pound weight cardstock, very heavy cardstock, and I did double it. This way it's going to hold it well when you're opening and closing it. If you were using a lightweight cardstock, I think it would pull right out of the book. But because I'm using it really is holding up well. So now I'm matting my photos. I have 3.5-inch square photos on a 3 3/4-inch pattern paper, and then I'm adding them to a 4-inch square mat, which is in the same red that you'll see in other items on the page. I wanted to tie that red in. So here are some film strips, and there's part of that red. It says movie night. Most of these were all purchased from the online Silhouette store and cut out with my Cameo. But like I said, if you don't own a Cameo or a Cricut, you can purchase packs of stickers, or even certain companies have elements. If you buy like a movie theme paper pack, you can get those. Here is a glassine bag that I had in my stash, and I also cut out these little candies. I wanted to make it look like there were candies from the movie theater, and I'm adding 2 of them to the inside of the glassine bag. So I just put a little dot of the Fabri-Tac to adhere it down. That way it didn't seep everywhere and it wasn't very noticeable. That piece I'm cutting the edge so I can put it right up to the edge of it. I'm using my tweezer bee tweezers to help kind of hold on to these. And again, another tiny dot of glue just to hold it in place. This little bag is going to serve as a holder for some of my movie tickets. And then next time I go to the movies, if I want, I can just add the tickets right into this little glassine bag, or I can do another layout spread, depending on what I feel. But I do usually save all the tickets to anytime we go to the movies. So here's some mint green baker's twine. I thought that would be cute. It really goes well with the colors in the candy. And I'm just weighing it down with that little ceramic bowl, and then my tweezer bees tweezers are helping me hold it together while I put in a knot in the twine, and then this allows me to put a bow in it and makes it much easier. So at first I went ahead and added tape right behind just those candies, but I noticed quickly you could not see the tape through the bag. So I went ahead and added it to the entire back of the bag. Well, not the entire, but all 3 sides. And then just place that down. And it's really stuck on there well. So here's some more elements I cut out. I'm just kind of laying everything around. My desk just has tons of embellishments, paper embellishments laying around, and I'm just going to kind of figure out as I go what I like, what I don't like. This was a little time consuming cutting all this stuff out, but it was worth it. It was fun, and it's a great place to keep memories with my movie theater tickets. The 2 photos that I printed out, they are not the best pictures. As you can see, they're dark, but they were both taken inside of a theater, and we didn't want to use a flash and be rude to the other people in the theater. So they are really dark, but they serve the purpose. It is the memory of both myself and my husband, and then myself and my son at the theater. It's rare these days that our son goes to the movies with us, so I wanted to make sure to capture that, even though that picture was probably taken about a year ago. So again, they're really dark photos, but I printed them out at home, and they're perfect for this Smash book. I wouldn't necessarily use them on a 12x12 layout where I'm trying to get but the Smash book is perfect. So here's my little film strip. I love that. Again, purchased from the online Silhouette store. I've seen stamps out there that is like that little film strip too. Here's some little movie films. So I'm just kind of placing them around, cutting some of them off so I can put them right against either the binding part or the edge of the page. And then little tickets. These actually came in a paper collection that I had, I believe. So I glued 2 of those together, put them right over the photo. And then these little film strips, I can't decide at first where I'm going to put them. So when I can't decide, I just move on to the next thing and figure it out later. And sure enough, there's always seems to be the perfect place for it if you just kind of move on and look at it later. This one I'll put right at the edge of my page. Same with this little reel. I couldn't figure out where to go, so I just go back to it later. So here are some of my movie tickets, and these I have 2 of these bins just full of stuff that I save for my smash books. Anything that I know that I want a smash book that maybe I wouldn't put in a regular layout are going to be inside of these 12 by 12 bins that I keep, and I have just a little bit of everything, and I love digging through this and adding stuff. My purpose today of digging through it is to pull out movie theater tickets, because like I said, when I save all the tickets, I just throw them in this bin knowing that I was going to scrap them someday. I'm sure I'll even find more in there later. I just quickly kind of went through it. And the strangest thing, I was gluing down some of the tickets. You'll see here in a moment that if I used, because whatever I would grab for, whether it's my Tombow Mono adhesive or my Fabri-Tac, which I think mostly I was using Fabri-Tac at this point, some of it like burnt through the paper, depending on the ticket. If it was like those really thin tickets, like these are a little bit thicker, it didn't affect it at all. But then when it came to really thin tickets, it kind of burnt right through it. And I didn't notice it at first because I was just kind of going along and quickly adding stuff. But you'll see here in a moment, it's the weirdest thing. So my suggestion would be just to use tape, or yeah, I'd probably just stick with tape actually. Because now look right here, after I glue this down, you're going to see like these black lines come straight through. It's so weird how they just appear. And it makes it look like it's burnt. I didn't mind it so much, like especially on that one, but on the next one that you'll see, it kind of ruined the whole ticket. You couldn't even read what this one here, you couldn't even read what the movie was. So I ended up removing it using my mono adhesive, and it didn't do that. And I just saved that. I folded it together, even though it was glued. I folded it together and I put it in the little pocket. So I'm adding a little tag. That day we had gone shopping too, so I wanted to add that in there. So up at the top, you'll see a little Vans tag. And then here's where I added those little film strips right behind that ticket. And you see it burnt through that one a little as well. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I just kept gluing and moving on. So I kept using the glue. But next time, I would probably just use a little tape, I guess. I don't mind a little bit, it didn't bother me, but this ticket here, it completely ruined it. It's like that really thick, weird material. See how you can see the glue right through it? And I think right now is when I noticed, I went ahead and pulled it up, and I'll still save that, but I just added something in its place. And now here's some extras that I can put right in the pocket, and I can continue to store new ones in that pocket or just make another layout. And now I wanted to go back and add some of those little popcorn pieces throughout. I thought those were cute. And some of them I will cover up those spots with. Like I said, I wasn't too worried about if you could still read the movie. I just left it on there. I wasn't too worried about it, but the other ones, that other one I had to pull up. Here's, I thought, the perfect spot for that reel. And now I pulled out some red berry, I believe it is, Crystal Nouveau drops. I'm going to add 3 at the top there and then at the bottom left as well, and let those dry overnight. And that really is all there was to it. This was really fun to put together. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you're interested in more of the Smashbook videos, check out the playlist. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Also my blog spot, all at CorenesCreations. I'll leave links down in the description box. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day.